Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the Dave Laight Be Happy podcast. It's a podcast for you if you want to find greater happiness in your life. So please keep tuned in because you will hear some really good stuff that can help you to get to a better place. And you might hear just a word, a sentence, or a phrase that can help you enormously in your life with any problems that you may be experiencing now or, at some later date. Please subscribe to this podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts so that you can be informed when new episodes come out. Now, in this podcast, we are talking about pain. And as you know, pain hurts. It can really hurt. So, you might be thinking, why talk about pain in a Be Happy podcast? Here's the reason why. Because if there is one thing for sure that you can count on in your life, it's the fact that you are going to experience pain at some time or another, and pain can affect your happiness in a really big way. Because as we know, pain is a bummer. It's a real bummer. And pain will come to you from disappointment, loss or failure. It's just a fact of life. That's the way it is. Pain cannot be avoided. And if you can't avoid it, the best thing to do is to be prepared for it so that you can cope with it when it comes your way. You can get through it and you can find some positive benefits from it. The main message that I want to give you in this episode is that whilst pain is very unpleasant, we know that, and it can't be avoided, we've just said that, believe me, here's the message: you can use it as a stepping stone. You can use it as a stepping stone to positively move forward in your life. You really can get something out of it. Because here's the thing, your pain can be a drain in your life or it can be a gain in your life, and it is ultimately you who will decide what it will be. You will decide whether it will be a setback that you can use as a setup for a comeback, or you can use pain as the start of a slide into dark places that no one would ever want to go to. And you really do have the power to decide what that outcome for any painful experiences will be. Now, people don't realise that they have the power to do this, but they really do. Now, once you understand that you have the power to decide, you need to get hold of your mental capacity, your courage and strength, and make the positive decision to get a positive outcome of bad situations when they come your way. At this little moment in this episode, I'd like to introduce you to a great speaker from the UK called Pete Cohen. Petecohen. Please look him up on Facebook or LinkedIn, and there you will find his 5-day talk on mental resilience. Watch this; it's brilliant. It will help you massively with a coping strategy for pain and failure and how to make decisions to get through it. If you have got to go through pain, here is the thing: if you've got to go through pain, which you will have to do, you might as well make sure at all costs that you get something positive from it. Don't go through it for nothing, and make sure for sure that one painful event in your life does not become the start of a downward spiral into many more painful experiences for you. Remember this. Hold on to this when pain comes your way. Without pain, there is no gain. Remember, no pain, no gain. And if you look at almost anything that is successful, there has always been some sort of pain involved before the success is found. There has always been some sort of failure or disappointment or hurt, and you really can look at anything in life to see that this is true. For example, let's just say you want to get and stay fit. There is no gain without pain. If you want to lose weight, there will be no weight loss without pain. If you want a great career, there is no gain without pain. If you want to save or make money, there is no gain without pain. And the best example that I can quote to explain this and ask any mother is having a baby. Because when you have a baby, there absolutely is no gain without pain, because that's life. Everything has a life cycle. Everything. And it's called a life cycle for a reason, because everything in life is cyclical. It goes round and round. Life just goes round and round. For example, just look at a plant. A plant will grow, bloom, die, and then bloom again in a repeated cycle. Ever heard the saying, what goes around comes around? That's true, because life goes round and round in cycles. The sun always follows the rain. The day follows the night. There is always an up after a down. And I can tell you this from personal experience, that there's something in these sayings. From great pain can come great gain, because what goes around comes around. Bad situations will get better, a little better, as time goes by. That's true, because time can be a great healer if you use that time in a positive way. Things really do happen for a reason. Remember that. And there are going to be times in your life when your life will go wrong, when it will all go, as we say in the UK, tits up, when it will all go wonky donkey. There will times when life, in the form of your friends, family, relationships, careers, health, wealth, or your well-being, there's going to be times when one of these things will come along and smack you right in the face, right in the mush. There are going to be times when life is going to beat you down, and then it's going to beat you up some more. And when this happens, it's going to hurt, and it is going to hurt like hell. And at these times, I'll tell you this, you will not like it, because it will seem unfair, and you're going to feel that life has singled you out and that it's picking on you. And at that time, I've done this. At that time, when you're really in a world of hurt, you'll look around and you'll see everybody else around you just living fine. They're all good and great, fine people. They're all sorted, enjoying life. And when you see that, that's going to hurt you some more. I'll tell you that for nothing. And you will get angry, you feel frustrated, and you will feel that there is no way forward and that you are just a loser with no hope and no future. And you may feel at this time let down, humiliated, and embarrassed. I did. Here's one thing to avoid when things go wrong for you. That one thing is not to worry about what other people, including those friends, those family members and work colleagues, don't worry about what they think about you and what is happening to you, because here is the harsh, the blunt reality. Ultimately, no one cares about your troubles. Sure, as you know, all those that are close to you and care for you will have a degree of concern, and they will try to help you, to a degree. But at the end of the day, understand this, your worries are yours. Believe this, because it's true. When bad things come your way, believe this thing, believe it. Half of the people just don't care. And half of the people are glad, they're glad that it's happening to you and not to them. And it isn't because these people are heartless, it's just because they're all too busy sorting out their own worries. And they've all got problems, even if it doesn't look like they have. So when things go wrong for you, don't waste your time, your energy and your thoughts on worrying about what other people will think, because if you do, it's not going to help you to improve your situation, but it will serve to take you to dark places that, believe me, I keep saying it, that you will not want to go to. We've all got two voices in our heads that talk to us all of the time. One is negative, the other positive. It is our choice. We have the choice which voice we're going to listen to. I look upon these voices as good and evil, or as God and the devil. And when life throws its challenges at us, these voices, they start talking to us. And how we deal with these challenges, these bad times that come our way, how we deal with these things depends a great deal on which voice we listen to. And this is where we all need to be careful, because it is a fact. It's a fact. We live in a negative world where negativity is fired at us from all directions constantly. And you've only got to look at the news on the TV or read a newspaper to see that this is true. And because we do live in a negative world, our default position is to be negative. And when bad things happen to us, it is therefore easy for us to slip into a negative vein of thought. And because we are, and we become what we think, thinking negative on bad situations can lead us down that dark path. So you have got to be very careful and stand guard at all times over the voice that you choose to listen to. Beware of negativity, because it is a terrible thing. If it is left unchecked, to run wild inside your head. To quote Les Brown, a world-renowned speaker, he says that they will just run amok inside of your head. And this is what he says on the subject. Negative thoughts are like the weeds that grow in the garden because they don't need special conditions. Weeds do not need special conditions of light, soil, water, nutrients to grow. They'll just grow, as you know, just about anywhere. And if they are left to grow unchecked, they will grow and they will develop and they will take over the garden. And in the process, they will kill off all of the positive, pretty plants that you are trying to grow, so that in the end, all that you are left with in your garden is a garden of weeds, a garden of negativity. And it is the exact same thing for your mind. If negativity is left unchecked to grow in your mind, it will grow and it will kill off the positive thoughts that you are trying to grow in your head. So when those negative thoughts enter your head, acknowledge them, acknowledge how dangerous they can be, and then deal with them, nip them in the bud. And this is not, as you know, an easy thing to do. But remember this, because it will help you. Remember, anything that comes easy to you in life often has no worth attached to it. But things that are hard to get, that you have got to work for, will have true value in them when you get them. And as I have said, thinking negative is all too easy. There's no value in doing it, but thinking positive, especially in hard times, is not easy. But the gain that you will get out of it will be tremendously valuable to you. And the secret in to be able to do this is to brain train your brain. I'll say that again, brain train your brain into thinking in the positive. One strategy that I'd like to share with you is to flip all of the bad and negative thoughts that come to you. Live your life in the flip. My wife and I have developed this strategy to the point that when testing challenges, when bad situations come our way, we say to each other, let's flip it. And that it jumps our thought process from negative tracks to positive tracks. And this is, remember, there is always a positive side to any situation, any negative situation that comes your way, any bad situation that comes your way. There is always a positive side, and I mean always. And to cope mentally when you experience bad situations, it is imperative for you to come out of it successfully at the other end, that you find the positive side of it. To summarise thus far, I'm going to say this to you. Pain is going to come your way. I'm going to say it's better to get some gain from that pain, and to say that you most always have to go through some pain to get a positive outcome in life. Listen at all times to that positive voice in your head. You have a choice on how you will react in painful times, and live your life in the flip. Mentally flip those negative thoughts into positive thoughts, because we are what we think. And if you think of a positive way out of a bad or painful situation, you will find that way out. When you start to flip things in your life, you will start to see a way out of no way, and you'll start to see light at the end of the tunnel. Now, the final thing to talk about when we're talking about dealing with pain is faith and belief. Faith and belief is the most powerful tool that you have got. He who has hope will have fight in him. She who has belief will keep going through the pain, because they know if they do, they will get to that promised land. You've just got to hold on to faith and belief that life, God has great things in store for you, and that the painful things that you are experiencing or will experience at some time happen for a reason, and that they will lead you eventually to a better life. In closing, I say to you again, pain will visit you. Keep faith and belief that you will get through it, and it will lead you to a better place in your life. Think in the positive, be positive. If you get pushed down in life, take stock, look up, then get up, act up with as much positivity as you can muster. Your life will then take a turn for the better. And finally, let me say this again. The most important thing about pain is that you're going to go through it. And if you are going to go through some pain, the very least that you need to do, that you deserve, is to get some gain from it, to get something out of it. You deserve it. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next podcast.